So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on behalf of Smart Commute. Today's webinar will be Know Before You Go with Municipal 501, Keeping Winter Commuting Safe. My name is Luca, and I am the Smart Commute Program Coordinator here at the City of Toronto. And today we are joined with presenters Dave and John, who will be hosting today's session from Transnomis, as well as Carrie and Rick, who will be representing Bruce County. I'll help guide us through today's agenda while Jesse keeps things interactive, managing the chat, posting polls between speakers, and running today's gift card draw. Before we begin, we will start with a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the land that we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many First Nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with Mississaugas of the Credit. So today's agenda. Just a quick housekeeping note that today's agenda will be recorded and our webinar can be found at smartcommute.ca. The recording will also be available on our internet website for municipal city staff. So don't worry if you need to step away or want to revisit part of the discussion later. We'll begin with an introduction to the program, followed by our webinar presentation, a short Q&A, and finishing off with a reminder that our Winter Commute campaign is still ongoing. So a little bit about the Smart Commute program. Smart Commute is an initiative in Ontario that empowers possibilities for how people commute through sustainable commuting programs. Smart Commute is supported and implemented by municipalities across Ontario, including municipalities of the GTA, City of London, Greater Sudbury, and Bruce County. The program provides workplaces, schools, and the public with services and solutions for a better and more sustainable commute. So some of our key program services do include carpool and ride matching app, emergency ride home program, numerous smart commute campaigns that occur annually, our cycling programs, as well as commuter assessments. So here's how today's session will flow. We'll start with our presentation from Transnomis, followed by a short presentation from Bruce County. After the presentation, we'll open the floor for a Q&A session, so please be ready to add your questions into the chat at any time. And then finally, we'll conclude with a $20 Tim Hortons gift card draw as a thank you for your participation. So some pre-webinar questions will be popping up on your screen momentarily, and the polls should pop up in the chat as well. As that's going on in the background, I will move on our presentation and hand it over to Dave and John from Transnomis.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Is my audio coming through clearly? Okay. I'm coming to you. I'm just trying to maximize my screen here. I'm coming to you from beautiful London, Ontario. It's a little snowy down here this morning or this afternoon now. So I've spent the morning taking a look at what's happening across the province to see who's getting snow and what impact it's been having on traffic. So Municipal 511 is a tool that everyone can use to do just that. My background is emergency management, from Western University to City of London, City of Hamilton, County of Perth, which is when we really started to use Municipal 511, and then I've helped both Oxford and Elgin counties on a part-time basis. One of the exciting parts of Municipal 511 is we won a national award in Perth County for its use in emergency situations and solving some of the challenges that municipalities have with common operating picture, like sharing information, map-based, and also interoperability, which means being able to communicate between agencies. So those are a couple high priorities for emergency managers. And at the time, I was part of the paramedic services organization in Perth County. We did some media relations, and they did pick up on the award we received and how we were one of the first municipalities in Ontario to become a partner with Waze. So one thing you have to understand is different organizations are responsible for roads and their conditions. So last year, I think during this month, MTO talked about their Ontario 511 system. They gave you the emergency management spiel, so I won't be doing that very much. I can't resist throwing a couple things in there, but there's some differences, and how do we share that information? You have the provincial highways, and they don't like to share much about local roads. Regions, if you're in, say, Halton or Niagara, you have regional roads, but then you have municipal roads. Where I've worked, it's been counties. So in counties, there's lower tier municipalities, but there also can be a separated municipality. A good example is Elgin County with the city of St. Thomas separated. In Perth County, it's city of Stratford, town of St. Mary's. Ironically, Oxford County is officially a regional government, even though it's not named that way. So all of the municipalities are part of the county. Some of the challenges, roads that divide counties or municipalities are often um, driven by a border roads agreement. You don't want two snowplows plowing one behind each other, so there are agreements on who takes primary responsibility and that type of thing. You don't see MTO snowplows anymore because all of that is a private industry contractor. So if we have a winter storm operation and challenge going on in our municipality, mutual aid has to come from other municipalities or contracted services. And you'll also see on the map that some roads in southern Ontario are not maintained in the winter, and that's especially important if the roads are hilly or narrow or that type of thing. So be aware of that. Who can close a highway? There's really only two, and that's a police authority and a roads authority. Fire departments can't close roads. They might park some big red shiny fire trucks across a couple lanes, but those are interim measures until official road closures can happen. So that can delay notification that a road is officially closed. Your municipality can do temporary closures, say there's a special event or a project going on. So bear that in mind. Uh, but when you do close a road, you have to have a roadblock, whether it's a police car with pylons or whether it's a big sign, and you'll notice that it says by police order. So that would probably be a public works closure. And if you can't follow more stringent requirements, like that big orange and white sign that people seem to just drive around, then you can do things with cones and other temporary measures. But there are standards, and municipalities have to adhere to them. Some of you may have heard the term significant weather event declaration. That's when a municipality may not be able to keep up with the precipitation and the conditions. So it's a notification to the community that uh, the municipality is unable to keep up with the maintenance standards. So that's a yellow flag for you to maybe stay home or pull off somewhere and find safe lodging. They do have to notify the public, and some of our customers do that through Municipal 511. And for the municipality, one of the main reasons is legal protection should something happen. But it's a really important thing to think about It doesn't mean the roads are closed, but it's that flag that you may encounter roads that haven't been plowed. And that's especially true if you're traveling on a main road, a highway especially, and it is closed by the OPP because of accidents and things like that. If you're venturing on to a lower tier municipalities' roads, they may not be able to keep up with the storm either. And a lot of our municipalities in Ontario are small. They don't have a lot of equipment or staff, and there's time requirements on plow operators and that type of thing that will come into play. One of the things that Municipal 511 does is a two-way data exchange with Waze, and I'll talk to you a bit about that. So you really, you don't want to be looking at a website while you're driving. So Waze is your portal into Municipal 511 to get up-to-date information. So a lot of our closure type issues do automatically flow to Waze. But municipalities also get the alerts that when you see something, even a pothole or a dangerous condition, you put it into Waze, and that pops up on what we call the authorities portal. Here is a media report we got in about 2018 talking about how we have Municipal 511, but also how we had connected into the Waze program.
Dave, the audio is not coming through.
Okay. Sorry. Thought we had that worked out, John. Your sound?
What you can do is
Highways.
Dave Colvin is a Wazer. He and several members of Perth County.
Highways.
Dave Colvin is a Wazer. He and several members of Perth County's emergency services are piloting the use of the community-based traffic and navigation app that allows members of the public to post and report accidents or slowdowns to one central location.
It's the crowdsourcing part. It's emerging technology. The nice thing is it's at no cost. So we're able to get information from our citizens on what's really happening out on the roads.
Perth County has been posting their own road closures, slowdowns, and emergencies to Municipal 511 since last summer, with great success. It's created one-stop shopping for traffic tie-ups across Ontario, but they wanted more, so they've established a two-way data share with Waze. Waze provides Perth County with real-time incident, safety, and slowdown information directly from the source, travelers themselves. In exchange, Perth County provides real-time government-reported construction and road closure data to create the most thorough collection of current road conditions.
The more Waze users we have, the more information will become available to us. And it's also a safety tool for those on the roads, giving you advance warning of hazards, accidents, potholes, all kinds of good information.
Perth County paramedics are amongst the first emergency services in the county to try out Waze. They see many potential benefits, but the most important is access to the most current road information so they can make it to calls as quickly and efficiently as possible.
One of our challenges is always road closures, and so when the crews go out first thing in the morning, they look at the faxes or their emails, and then when you're on the road, you really don't know what the changes are throughout the shift. So if you're on the road all day and a road closure or something happens coming in, then it gives them the opportunity in real time to be able to see it.
Perth County is amongst the first Ontario communities to partner with Waze.
Yeah, this type of technology has been used in some of the major storms in the U.S.
In Perth County, Scott Miller, CTV News.
So that was important from a couple perspectives. The paramedics in Ontario use different systems for navigating to their calls. There isn't a totally universal system, although that's changing a bit. Our Middlesex London paramedics have access to a system that is actually based on Waze closures. So if we have closures going in from Municipal 511 to Waze, that can actually improve the ambulance response time. So that's an advancement. Hopefully your community has that, because you can imagine what it's like trying to navigate rush hour traffic in a paramedic vehicle. So um, Municipal 511 has the public portal, but we also have our authorities portal. We have more integrated layers, including MTO projects, traffic cameras, utility impacts. It's really a cost-effective GIS tool, Geographic Information System toolbox. So that's nice because you don't have to have a GIS technician working on your closures. You can do it from a desktop, a tablet, and it was even designed so that roads workers or road staff or emergency services can do it right from a smartphone, and at that time from a BlackBerry. Okay, to give you an idea of the scope of our customer base, we have this map. There's a text-based subscription there, but it's growing. And the more communities that come on board, the better the system is for the traveling public, but also for the emergency management community, for emergency responders. So it's really a collaborative web-based toolbox that the more people we have participating, the better the system becomes. But you also have to bear in mind that even in London inputs things directly into Waze, mainly projects, and Hamilton and some of those municipalities don't use Municipal 511. So if you know there's a storm brewing in those areas, you want to be mindful that you look at the weather as well as Municipal 511. So again, it's that situational awareness. And as an emergency manager, one, if you don't have to travel, don't listen to the OPP. But if you have to travel, make sure your vehicle is well equipped with an emergency kit, chargers for your phone, make sure you gas up your vehicle, that type of thing. So it's a web-based system. I've mentioned that a couple times. We really started Municipal 511 out of a national project to be able to share information, but we didn't want something that was just used in disasters. We wanted something that we had a distributed user base that would be putting things in on a timely basis. So that the road closure challenge really was what drove the system and made the business case, and also improved citizen relationships, because everybody expects instant information in our days of cell phones and Twitter and Facebook. And if you look to those avenues for information, sometimes they can be accurate, others they're not, and there's always differing in expectations from the traveling public to what is actually out on the different social media feeds. And it really gained popularity through the paramedic services, through the chiefs conferences and that type of thing. And there was an early implementation in Eastern Ontario for the flooding. So again, I talked about the secure portal, the public portal. You can see some of the other things that come in: Google traffic data, Ontario 511 data, Waze report. So that gives us a clearer picture than what we can share on the public site. So here's an idea of what it looks like. We have a feature that shows what are new reports. You can set the timing on that. But road restrictions in the way of, for large commercial vehicles, load restrictions, no winter maintenance, and also the significant weather event declarations. One of the things when you're looking at Ontario 511, going between that map and this map gives you a different picture. MTO and Ontario 511 really concentrates on the municipal, or pardon me, the provincial roads. You do have the option on the right-hand side here of putting Waze incidents and Waze traffic jams in there. but I think those reports are pretty scarce, and it comes down to some of the filtering that's used. I've looked on busy days, and there's you can get a text report. You'll see like 4 or 5 Waze reports in the whole province, which isn't helpful if you're looking for that common operating picture. So here's what the public website looks like. John will run you through live, and that should be interesting because we've got some snow in there, but we can share it to trucking companies, or municipalities can share it to trucking companies. You can even embed it into your municipal webpage so that it doesn't mean you have to keep a list of road closures and openings. You can link to a live database for your municipalities, and you can check different options. In the summer construction zone, you can see what construction is coming up in the next 7 days, 30 days, and you can turn off things and get a better idea and zoom into your area of concern. And it does show some of the information that also goes into our authorities database, but it is a good tool for you. There's a look at it. You can see up here, there's a significant weather event. You've got road conditions, and you'll hear about the great integration from one of our partners here in a few minutes, where it's actually built into the road monitoring system, and their cameras come in and road conditions, and that's the ultimate, is becoming a portal for our partner organizations. We talked about OPP. I think I've mentioned OPP coming on board, but just this fall, they've began posting to Municipal 511 directly for provincial highways that used to have to go in through the MTO. Now OPP can actually put things directly into Municipal 511. We've done this as a Transnomis has done this as a partnership. They haven't signed a big lucrative contract with OPP. We've done this because our municipalities pay for OPP policing service, so we've included it as a feature for our customers. So a big advancement. It's really driven a lot of people to our website, and it's also I think been a tool for the OPP to really track what's going on. So that goes out on this one is Facebook, I believe. No, it's the other way around. Anyways, they cross post between Facebook and Twitter. And one of the big challenges is there's always going to be a timing difference between information. It's just the nature of what we do. Municipalities have limited staff. You can imagine OPP trying to track everything right across the province during a storm. So you have to be a little understanding of that. So here's a clip from our London CTV station talking about it, and the constable that was interviewed did a great job of talking about the advantages.
Month. Jerry DeWan, CTV News.
Heavy snowfall north of London as well today, with widespread school and road closures. As Scott Miller reports, drivers are now being directed to one website for the latest on conditions across the region.
A rapid return to winter closed some roads and all schools across Midwestern Ontario today.
I don't think it's over yet, Scott.
As the weather turned ugly, motorists started the frantic search to find out exactly what roads were open and what was closed. Solden says this winter, the OPP detachments in Huron, Perth, Bruce Grey, and Wellington counties all started using the Municipal 511 website as a one-stop shop for road conditions and road closures across the region.
It was confusing maybe a little bit before, too, because motorists thought, okay, where do I get this information? Where's the best place? Where's the most trusted platform to get the road closure information? And we still utilize X, we utilize Instagram, we utilize Facebook. But people would like to know, okay, just send me one place where it's accurate and up to date.
Solden says the Municipal 511 site is updated directly by the people who are opening and closing the roads, making it quicker and more accurate than previous methods.
Our supervisors go in and add the closures, and then they also do the openings when the road is reopened. So that's in real time and it's immediate. So we are the ones that close the roads, and we're the ones that go in and manage that in the Municipal 511 site.
Solden says the Municipal 511 site also has real-time photos from MTO cameras, road conditions, and other traffic hazards.
Municipal 511 is the most up-to-date, most accurate source for your road closure information for weather-related closures from the police.
In Huron County, Scott Miller, CTV News.
So that's ideal when information is going in directly, despite some of the issues we have with jurisdiction. We're moving in the direction of having good information. Of course, if you're seeing all the closures and things like that, if you don't have to travel, don't travel. And remember, when OPP close a highway because of an accident or visibility, it doesn't mean that the county roads, the regional roads, are going to be any better. In fact, if they have a significant weather event declaration, they may be in worse condition. So stay safe, listen to OPP and the municipal road authorities. So one of the other things is emergency detour routes, especially where there's not a lot of roads, Eastern Ontario. Be sure to follow the EDR and not your GPS. They even have signs out there now because you can be routed through some hilly roads, some low maintenance roads, that type of thing. So we're trying to influence the navigation apps, but there's only a certain amount of information they will take in to influence their routing. Of course, no winter maintenance. You don't want to see your paramedic crew stuck in a snowbank. This was a rescue in Eastern Ontario that delayed a response. Just a quick note, Municipal 511 is part of a whole suite of products, including municipal permitting through Permit Central, Traffic Central, and ITS Central. So any questions on that, you'll have John's contact information here in a moment. So be sure to look at the website. That will give you complete information. So that's a wrap for my portion. As I say, I'm an emergency manager. If you want to reach out to me on Municipal 511 issues, that's my email, pretty simple. But I do have a personal email on emergency management things. Be sure to look me up on social media. I'm fairly active on that. So anyways, I'd like to introduce John McDonald. He's head of sales for Transnomis.
Perfect. Thanks, Dave. That was informative. I guess maybe we could just take a quick pause if there are any questions. Happy to address them. I'm not sure if any have come through. Luca?
Not seeing anything in the chat right now, but maybe we'll give everyone a minute to see if there's a question. If not, you can start, John.
Sounds good. So I'm going to share my screen. If the questions come through, just let me know. So as Dave mentioned, here's a live example. Anybody can access this website, municipal501.ca. And as you can see, there's a mixture of different icons representing different issues that are happening in real time. So if I were to click on here, we've got a snow-covered road. This information is coming from Ontario 511. So even though we're not associated with Ontario 511, the nice thing about Municipal 511 is we're able to pull in data from multiple sources. So as Ontario 511 updates their information, we're pulling that into our database. And then all of our counties and municipalities that are clients are able to put in information that they're responsible for. So the roadways, the issues, et cetera, that they're responsible for. We're also getting information, as Dave mentioned, supplemented with the OPP across Ontario. So we can see, just clicking on a few different icons here, we have one that says no winter maintenance. So, commuters, residents, they may want to be mindful of that if they're going down, planning trips, things like that during heavy winter snowfall. You want to make sure that you don't get caught on one of these roads, because a lot of times, you know, you could be in a bit of a jam and might take some time before assistance arrives. Here we've got another snow-packed roadway. This is being populated by Grey County. This other one here was being provided, information was provided by Township of Huron-Kinloss. We have different icons for things like road closed, no emergency access. This is another Township of Amaranth. Construction, of course, you know, seasonally, you know, lane closures. And the nice thing is the municipality or the county, they can put in as much or as little detail as they want. If there's a detour route, if the road is closed, if it's a recurring project, things of that nature. So really think of Municipal 501 as sort of your central database to get up-to-date, real live information through the municipality, the county, and our Municipal 501 website. But also the information is being shared out to those nav apps that everybody's accustomed to using: Google, Waze, TomTom, etc. As Dave mentioned, also the map can be embedded right into the municipal or county website. So here we have an example with the city of Kingston. The map is interactive, so you can kind of zoom in, zoom out. We've got cameras here, so if you just want to kind of take a peek at what the road conditions look like, looks like the roads are pretty clear up here in Kingston along this 520 division, so you can take a peek at that. You can also see down here, we've got some short-term road closures, local traffic only, some construction, things of that nature as well. Here's some seasonal load restrictions. And then it brings us to Bruce County, who also has, is going to be speaking in just a minute here, but this is their live map. So again, you can kind of zoom around and take a look at what's going on currently in the county. So I think with that, I will introduce Carrie from Bruce County, and she's got a few slides to share.
Perfect. Thank you, John. Yeah, welcome everybody. As John mentioned, I'm Carrie Meyer. I work for the Bruce County Transportation Environmental Services Department, and just here to show how we here at Bruce County apply Municipal 511 as it relates specifically to commuting into winter. So just for some context, the map was there, which is great. It shows a good idea of where we're located. So we are between Lake Huron and Georgian Bay in southwestern Ontario. We are home to just over 70,000 residents, and we are predominantly rural communities. We are an upper tier municipality, and we maintain 650 kilometers of road system throughout the 8 municipalities that you can see there on that map. We experience a variety of winter conditions here. It can include lake effect snow. It can be high accumulation of snow. We have lots of banks that generate and cause poor visibility. We have been using Municipal 511 for our summer road construction and travel information for at least 8 years. And just in the 2023-2024 winter season, we started integrating our winter road conditions and our closures with Municipal 511. So the county created a road reporting system for our operations field staff about 10 years ago. So this form here that you see on the screen is something that our staff that are out on the roadway report the road and weather conditions, whatever is going out there in real time. Generally, they update this system 6 times a day for 8 regions within Bruce County. So it'll include the temperatures, the road conditions, like if they're snow covered, snow-packed, bare and wet, as well as some weather conditions such as like blowing snow, drifting, flurries, things like that. The same application is used by our frontline staff to also update road closures and road openings. So very useful for our staff for compliance purposes, but what is nice is it actually integrates this information into Municipal 511 as well. So before we integrated our winter information, our updates with Municipal 511, we had a very isolated map system, which you can see on the screen. So it only provided road closures for Bruce County. It didn't actually incorporate our road conditions, and it really limited commuters that are coming in and out of Bruce County as well. So what we have now done is integrated our information into Municipal 511. So like John was showing on the map system, it provides real-time data entered by our staff, provides traveling public the most up-to-date information. And important for us is it did not change how our staff actually inputted that information in a system that they've been comfortable using for a number of years. So it allows anybody coming and going into the region to see. This is just a snip, but as you saw with John's map, you can zoom in, zoom out into the different regions and just click on the different icons in our colored of roads to see what's going on in that area. This is very similar. Dave had a slide like this in his presentation. So this was a very wintry day in Bruce County. And this is sort of what the information would get that you can see on the mapping system. So for just some context, anything that is white on the road network means that the roads are snowpacked. So caution when traveling, snow's accumulated on the roadway. And given the weather, the road has some activity going on with it. If our road network is yellow, it generally means the roads are partially snow covered. So you may see some weather conditions, but overall our roads are in pretty good shape. And if the roads are not colored at all, so they're that gray color, it essentially means the roads are bare and wet and bare and dry, and you can assume your commute won't be impacted by weather and or road conditions. Probably of utmost importance and similar to what Dave mentioned is red means our roads are closed. So those are closed under the authority of our regional OPP and sometimes if required also closed by the County of Bruce. So I'll now pass along the presentation to Rick and he's going to provide additional information regarding how this integration works and our success in reaching the general traveling public.
Thanks, Carrie. Just before I go, I do see a hand up. Do we want to answer that one now or just carry on?
Sure.
Okay. Christopher, you should have mic access now.
Oh, I apologize. That was a mistake.
Oh. Okay, I can sorry, I see Dave. Dave has his hand up as well.
Yeah, just one thing. I don't think chat is active. It's saying chat is only available during the meeting. So I don't know, Jesse, if you want to take a look at that, or we'll just have people raise their hands at the end.
Okay, I can jump in and someone can also jump in if I need to stop, but I will continue. So yeah, as Carrie was mentioning, we did develop a system for our road reporting that we've had in use for well over 10 years. We, a couple of years ago, decided to integrate that into Municipal 511. There's been a few clear benefits for that, and it's been fairly easy for us to do on a technical side. So very quickly, technically, we integrated via the published API that Municipal 511 Transnomis is using. That's been very straightforward. Few technical work on our end. Nothing changed for our staff that Carrie mentioned. We're using that current tool, and the trucks are in the office inputting the information. So there's no duplicated work, and there's nothing else they have to do. They continue to do what they do, and we just take and extract the information we want to and put it into Municipal 511. It maps both the conditions in the closures. It'll prioritize those closures. So I think you saw in the previous screenshot how we were drawing. Yes, we were drawing the lines there. So you can see the white lines for snow covered, the yellow lines for a little less, maybe partially snow covered. And then when we close a road on those maps, the API will tell it to color that one red. So we're doing all that within the API, nothing that our guys have to do that. And this has allowed us to enhance the current tool and allow the staff to improve the way we're communicating things, in particular around what that commute is going to be like when you're looking to drive around Bruce County and neighboring areas. So on the next slide here, I'm just talking about what we've seen as an impact of this and then a couple of things around that commute. So definitely, and this has just been increasing over time, but there's a massive public interest in any of that road condition or closure information. We see that particularly around those commute times, we've been seeing an increase, and this allows, with that integration of Municipal 511, just provide a little more relevant and consistent information. So we can see things like high traffic volumes during those storms, and we'll look at that in a second, but you can also see right around those drive times, 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Those times are heavily, excuse me, heavily trafficked. And we can also see that in a particular time during the day, there'll be upwards of 2,000 or 3,000 people on the page in real time. So those are just massive web traffic numbers for us, and that just continues to tell us the story that people are using this tool, and it's providing good and consistent relevant information. A couple of things I wanted to put in here just to give you an idea. So this is our web traffic Google Analytics from 2025, and you can see we have a very consistent site. It might be hard to tell from the slide there, but you can see the weekends, you can see the weekdays, and then you're going to see about 10 spikes, and those 10 spikes are around our winter storms, and that's just how much our traffic jumps during those events. You can see in this particular year, for example, we had 900,000 page views on the one page of the site. That number would have been the exact number or a higher number than the entire site would have gotten in previous years. So that's just on one page that is generally being visited between November and April throughout those years. You'll also see another interesting stat is for our users. You'll see 200,000 users on that page. And that is an indication of people around the area and not just within the region, because we don't have 210,000 of a population. So there's a lot of interest around the region as well. So just to give you an idea of some of the traffic that we're seeing across the page as a result of the information there, and that includes our integration into Municipal 511. Here's just another quick example of some of the traffic spikes that we do see. So this was just a 3-day event that we had in February of 2025, 275,000 page views roughly, and that again is just a dwarfs the rest of the traffic on the site, but I think just indicates that we're providing good information to our users. There's a hunger for it, and they continue to come back. So it's been beneficial in how the county staff are communicating what you can expect when you go and try to commute around the county and around the neighboring areas. So that's the general information we want to provide in terms of what that tool is providing. So I'm going to hand it off back to Smart Commute and over to Luca.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Rick, for that great presentation. Thank you to Rick, Carrie, John, and Dave for those great and informative presentations. So just as we transition screens here, I will briefly talk about what's next for the Smart Commute program. So there is still time to log all of your sustainable commutes and trips this month on the Smart Commute tool for a chance to win one of $500 gift cards. All you have to do is visit our Smart Commute website to see pricing rules and learn how you can participate. Our webinars this month, this is also a reminder that our webinars throughout this February, including this one, will be available and can be found on smartcommute.ca. So as we wrap up with any questions that there may be, I'd like to once again thank our presenters from Transnomis and Bruce County for sharing their expertise and insights today. And a big thank you for all of you who came to participate in this lunch hour presentation. A special thanks also goes to the City of London for generously providing today's gift card prize. And we would love your feedback on the session. So please take a moment to complete a quick poll that should be popping up in both the chat and on your screen momentarily. And we'll be doing the prize draw right away. So please stay on if you're looking for a chance to win.
Okay, this is the fun part for everyone. Who will win a $20 gift card prize? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so I put everyone's names here. So I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel. And we got Ryan Chow. All right. Congrats, Ryan. I will email you after this webinar for you to receive your gift card.
Awesome. Yes, congratulations, Ryan, and thanks again to all of you for joining us this lunch hour. Just as a final send-off this February, we encourage you to rethink your commute, add movement to your day, and share your experiences with your colleagues and your community. On behalf of Smart Commute, have a great rest of your day, everyone.